Smash that limiter!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 54.
Hello, everyone.
How's it all been going? How have you been, Spliffy?
Busy, but good. How have you been?
Same, busy but good. It's been pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Always is crazy though, isn't it? Really, every time
Yeah,
I
it's
talk
true.
about it, it's been a crazy week. No, it's been great. Had a lot of work to do. In a short amount of time. Yeah, it's just been good. Been really good. So yeah, did you know that yesterday marked a year for Ray of living out here?
No.
It's pretty crazy. So a year ago, I helped Ray move out here, and then obviously now I live out here as well. But yeah,
Yeah, it's been what a
yeah.
year it's been.
On my birthday in March, so will mark
Yeah.
my year of being out here as well, which is
Excellent.
pretty nuts. But yeah, it's been what a fucking adventure it's been. But
Yeah, I believe you. It's been a very interesting year.
yeah, it definitely has been. So what's been going on? Because like you showed us a picture of your collection of microphones. If you could repost that in the
I'd have to. Let's
uh,
see. I don't know if I got more microphones since. No, I did get more microphones since then. So, let me see. It should be. Actually, I don't know how far along it would be.
because it looks
Anyway,
like I'm looking at a picture here that you posted to our Discord page.
yeah.
Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mics there, and then you've
Is
got
that
all
five? Yeah,
those.
there will be 5 mics.
Yeah, but you've got more than that though, don't you?
Oh yeah, I've got like 24.
24.
Yes, I have 24 microphones.
Jesus, I know what I'm getting you for your birthday.
I mean,
Another microphone.
all of the microphones I want are really expensive, so
Yeah, I can
I
understand
wouldn't
that.
blame you if you did it in the end.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, like even this mic was pretty expensive, but compared to some of those other ones, hell, it's not at all.
Yeah.
Um,
No, some of my microphones are expensive. There's one microphone this place I usually get them.
yeah,
I don't know how they got their hands on it. It's an AKG C414 XL. It's
yeah,
got like a gold plated grill on the front of it, or the direct grill. So the grill you actually speak into to get to speak it directly into the diaphragm clearly.
yeah.
I don't know how they managed to get their hands on this microphone or who turned it in, but essentially they're selling it for $1,500
Jesus
at
Christ,
cash converters too.
cashies.
So
How did they
yeah, so
even know what type of microphone was to be able to ask for that much?
well,
They
I
probably looked
reckon
it
the
up.
guy came in saying, "Yeah, I want like $500 for this microphone minimum." Because
Yeah,
that's a really cheap for that microphone. They usually
yeah.
go for about $2,000 each.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you noticed, but I'm wearing the Audi's today.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I'm wearing the Audi's over the Arctic Steel Series. I think I'm gonna wear these predominantly on my computer because until I get the Maxwells, which I really want to get this year. There's two things I want this year. I'm gonna sound real fucking actually technically three things. I'm gonna sound real like, uh petty. Not petty, but
Yeah.
like stupid. So there's only three things I really want this year. One of them, I want a HOTUS fucking mount for my HOTUS setup, so my joystick and throttle controller on that.
Hmm.
Um, because I'm sick and tired of having it on my desk, I'd rather like be down here. Plus, also when I'm like flying, having it on top of the table, it's actually a really uncomfortable angle for my hand. Where if like it's down on the side, I can be a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, right.
The second thing is I want a wireless headset for my PC. So I use the Audi's Penrose for the Xbox because it's a really good headset for the Xbox. I don't like using it on the PC that often because the battery life isn't as long. Um, and a super automatic coffee machine.
The super automatic coffee machine.
Oh, I really
Yeah.
want the super automatic coffee machine. I'm tossing
Ah,
between
I
two. They're really expensive. I'm gonna get them on special because I don't want to pay the price
yeah,
that they
right.
normally are. I don't want to spend like so I both want a DeLonghi. Um, I'm tossing up between the Magnifica Plus or the Alada Explorer, depending on what price range when
I
they were,
mean,
were on special.
what kind of coffee do you drink?
Oh, I drink all sorts really, but the one thing I like about this coffee machine is it also does like tea as well, so I can do everything. So it replaces the kettle essentially.
Right.
I hate the kettle.
Okay, well then get the one that does tea as well. I mean,
They both do. They both
well, they
so
both do tea. Well,
so
then, like, okay,
so,
well, what's your
so
favorite? What's your favorite coffee then?
I like cappuccinos, they're my favorite.
Yeah, they're my favorite too.
Yeah. Um the reason why I might go the Alanta because sometimes when it's on special it's the same price as the Magnificent Plus, or if or a
Yeah,
little bit less. Um, and the beauty about super automatics is they're like easy to clean, they're easy to maintain. When they stuff up, they're kind of easy to get working again. Because DeLonghi is really good at sort of making the parts like serviceable.
right.
Which is like coffee machines are pretty shit, like at just breaking for no reason.
Yes. So
Yeah, they
usually you'll
usually
need
are.
like you'll need those huge, those absolutely enormous coffee machines.
Yeah, exactly. And you can get like a semi-automatic one, which the only difference between a semi-automatic and just a normal traditional one is it will grind the coffee beans and then inject them into your little thingamabobby.
Oh yeah.
It still makes amazing coffee because it does the exact same as like a normal conventional barista one does. But the reason why I want the super automatics is I am lazy and I don't want to have any thought process whatsoever. I just want to put my cup in there, press fucking make, and then it makes it. It does the milk froth, everything, does everything. And then I drink my coffee and then I do a bit of a clean cycle afterwards and put the milk um, container, because it has like a milk container that you attach to it, put that in the fridge, and that's it. That's all you have to do.
Well, I think the best way, I think the best way to go about it is just to think which one is less of a pain in the ass in the end, and don't really even worry about the price.
Well, they're both the same. The only difference is the Elanto Explorer allows you to have a thermos in it, so it's got like uh the water tray has like a cutout that you can move out, so you can put like a travel mug in it.
Right.
And it also does cold drinks as well,
Well,
so you can do iced coffees because we do
I
often make like iced coffee a lot,
well
so
then
it'd be
that's the
handy
one I
for
would
that.
get if I were you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about the other one. Just get the one that's like, get the one that you're not gonna think about 6 months down the time and thinking like, man, if I only put an extra $50 into it, I'd have like I wouldn't even be thinking about I wouldn't even be having this thought about how much of a pain in the ass this
Yeah,
is. I would
I'll
just
show it.
be able to do it.
They are expensive. It's
Yeah,
just,
well,
but
that's kind of
it's a
that's
luxury
that's a
thing.
given.
Yeah, this is it here. So
Yeah,
come,
that is rather expensive,
it
but
is rather
I've
expensive.
seen microphones go for that price.
Yeah,
So
and this makes you coffee, and I drink coffee daily. So,
yeah, well,
also like if you want a hot chocolate, you can also select the hot milk setting. You put the chocolate in the back of your thing, and then it will pour hot milk into
yeah, well,
your jug, so you can have a hot chocolate. So you can do basically every drink you can do in it. Obviously, it'll still have a kettle, but because I use a kettle for lots of different things, not just that. But
yeah.
the biggest problem where we live is that we got very hard water, so it's very like the water's fucked. Like
Well, like hot, got a lot of calcium in it.
yeah, real high calcium, chlorine
Yeah,
content.
right.
It's like really, really nasty. Like if I wouldn't buy an expensive kettle out here because it will be fucked in like a month.
Oh,
It
okay.
destroys it. So the reason why I would like this is because obviously this has a filter in it, so it makes the water a lot better. So I would just simply what I'm gonna probably end up doing is getting a just a water filter jug, pour the filtered water in there, then that will filter it again. So then that way I don't have to descale it as regularly as well.
Yeah, right.
It sounds like a lot of work, but it's not really. I mean, filtered water jar, you just pour
It's
water in it and just put it in the fridge, and then away you go.
yeah.
So that white one does cold drinks, and then the black one does hot drinks. So you can see there. And so what it does is it will pour foamy milk in there, frothy milk, and it tastes really good apparently. And then it will inject the coffee in it, which is the wrong way around for cappuccino, but doesn't really
Oh
matter
well.
because it goes down the same way anyway. But yeah, it looks really nice too. Like, and that's the water jug there, and you can take the whole thing apart. It's really easy. So yeah, that little tray there comes out, and you can put the thermos in there. That's just really, really fucking, and it's all dishwasher safe too, which is cool. Not that I have a dishwasher.
Yeah, well.
I am the dishwasher anyway. And then you can select your grind, so you can like find the beans right up and change your intensity, and you have profiles as well. So you can sit down, play around with coffee settings to make your ideal coffee, save it to your profile. So whenever you go on your profile and you just click what drink you want, it will know exactly your preferences.
Oh, so you got like a favorites
Yeah.
tab.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also a nap with it as well. So say for example, if I get up in the morning and I left my mug, like a clean mug in there, like overnight, like the night before, I put my mug in there ready for the morning, and I'm just like getting up, getting ready, and I'm like, oh, I could do a coffee. I open the app up and click start my cappuccino, and it will start doing it while I'm fucking getting up out of bed.
No, fair enough.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's cool. It's not their like. It is one of their higher range stuff. They have like more expensive ones.
Oh, no doubt.
But because so that's a super automatic. So that is like literally like there's ones you go to like dealerships and shit. You press a button and it just makes everything. Does make everything.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
have the same. They've got a similar sort of ones at the fuel service stations.
Yeah, exactly. They're exactly the
You
same.
just press a button and like, okay.
So this is like your entry level one. These are really good machines too, by the way. The Magnificent Evo. So like if you ever wanted something like this and it was like down to like 5, you can get them pretty good price sometimes. These do the exact same thing. They just don't have as many drink options, so you can't do like you can't do like certain things. Obviously, you can't do cold drinks, but you can't do what's the normal flat white? Like you can't do a flat white.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you do a flat white on this, you click the coffee and it will make you coffee, and then you just pour milk in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or what you could do is do the coffee and then just press the milk button, the hot milk button, and then it pours the hot milk into it, and then you got a flat white anyway. But it'll be a bit foamy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
there's other ways around it, but it doesn't. It just those options here at the top. So this has no like LCD screen. It's just these are buttons. So they're just pictures of buttons. So you got like tea and all that sort of stuff. So you have all your coffees that you would drink anyway.
Yeah.
So you can see them there. But it's just a cheaper machine, and it still makes superb coffee.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I've what have I been doing for the last? I don't know, at least 5 or 6 years now. So about 5 or 6 years ago, it'd probably be closer to 5 actually. No, 6. No, I remember. Definitely 6 years ago. I bought a French press coffee, thing, and I've just been rolling with that for the last 5 years, and it's just made excellent coffee.
Yeah, they do that. Any coffee machine really makes good coffee. It's just whether you know how to use it properly or not. This is what they call a semi-automatic. How it's semi-automatic is you put that thing and you put it in there, you press grind, and then it grinds it, and then you press down that lever and it puts it in that. Then you got
it's just a miniature version of those bigger machines.
Yeah, exactly. And then you just press it in, and then you do the little hole thing, and then you stick it in there, and then you press your thingo, and then it pours your drink, and then you've got your steam one there.
Yeah, right.
I will be honest, Breville. I think it's Breville, isn't it?
I don't know.
Breville make better machines than DeLonghi on the semi-automatics. Their machines are better, but
Yeah, right.
yeah, they're just apparently like the ones are better and like they're just the hardware on them is better. But DeLonghi at the moment are in the lead on the super automatics. So like I could get one of these, and the coffees that come out of these are like they're a barista machine, so they taste really good, and you can do like the art and all that shit if you want.
Yeah.
But me personally, I just yeah, no, fuck that. I was just get a super automatic.
Yeah, I mean, I only really make coffees for myself, so something like
Yeah.
that would just probably be too cumbersome
Yeah,
for just one
exactly.
person making one coffee.
Yeah,
I'd probably end
exactly.
up wasting a lot of milk as well.
Yeah, that's true. This one here is really good because that one does have this. This thing is actually a milk frothing machine, just like the super automatics.
Yeah.
But then you also have the option of doing the wand as well. So, um, obviously a lot more expensive. Well, it's not. It's still cheaper than the bloody super automatic. So it's still pretty good.
Mm.
Can't go wrong
I
with something like that. But yeah.
what was it? I was actually you can actually get dedicated milk frothing
One.
machines.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if I ever
you can definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at getting that because we've got one of those little pod ones. I'm over pod machines. For the amount of money
Yeah.
they cost, they're not worth
Oh
it.
fuck yeah. Yeah, no way.
The one at work is really good. My boss splurged out and got a really good one for work. They make like looking at their coffees. Like I wish I could have one, but obviously with the milk intolerance, it's kind of shit. But
Yeah.
but yeah, the coffees they make are just that picture perfect because they use the vacuum double glass cups as well. It just looks so good. And that's easy. They just put the pods in, they press the button, and it has a wand in as well. But I want coffee beans because it's actually cheaper. So it's cheaper to buy a kilo of coffee beans that can last like, oh, how much would it last? I calculated it would probably last us like 3 months, a kilo of coffee beans.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a coffee every day because we only have one coffee
yeah.
every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a coffee every day, and it will last like 3 months. Where pods, the only reason they last us at the moment is because we don't use it that often.
Yeah, because like, and the other thing
Yeah.
too is that if you do you want a strong coffee or do you want a weak coffee? With pods,
Yes.
you don't have that option.
You
It's just
don't. No,
coffee.
it's just coffee.
So it's yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like it's kind of like either it's kind of like the washing machine detergent. So if you buy
Yeah.
like the actual predetermined like the already made packs, it's like well you know exactly how long this is gonna last you.
Yeah.
But what I've been doing for a while is putting in half a scoop of washing machine powder in it, and it
Yeah.
lasts me twice as long suddenly. So it's like, well,
Yeah. We use.
suddenly this $30 box of washing machine powder has just suddenly turned into $15.
Yeah, it's like those washing machines as well. Like they have a reservoir now of like of liquid or powder, and then
Yeah,
they will input how much it thinks that it needs.
yeah,
And I don't like that. I like control, so I like to
yeah. So so do I. I like to
yeah,
like set parameters, as you can
yeah,
probably tell.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's funny. I just saw your traditional message. Let's destroy that head gasket.
Yes.
This week alone, actually, these past probably 3 weeks alone,
Oh,
we
I'm
have
listening.
seen so many head gaskets gone.
How do you do that? Like, I mean, I understand how you do that, but I guess I'm saying it rhetorically. Like,
Most of
is
them,
everyone just over revving their engines or
and
something?
most of it was due to towing, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so they're putting in way too much effort into their engines, and that's causing it to blow
yeah,
up.
yeah. With this one, it was a what was it? It was a Colorado,
Yeah.
and it was actually what happened on that one. The head studs got loose on it, because the block got soft. The head got soft.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean the head got soft? I
So
didn't realize metal could go soft.
it got that hot on the head that it
Oh,
softened
okay.
because heads and engine blocks are actually hardened to a certain point.
Right.
And yeah, it got that hot that it softened the head up, which we haven't really seen in a Colorado. And yeah, and then when we took it to a head specialist, he said that it like was fucked and warped and shit.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, we've seen quite a few of them. A lot of them, the engines end up being fucked, and they just couldn't justify the price of getting a new engine because like it's expensive. Engines are like over 20 grand to replace an engine on some of these cars.
Yeah, I was
Um,
it. I remember it was you or somebody
Yeah.
else told me that there was like four. No, it was you. You was telling me somebody else with their Nissan D40. Their Nissan D40 engine needed to be replaced. It was nearly $40,000 to replace it or something like that.
No, it wasn't.
It
It
was like a
wasn't.
year or two ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. It was. Oh, what fucking motor was it? It wasn't. It wasn't my car. It was.
Yeah, it was somebody
It was
else's.
somebody else's. I think it was the V6 diesel one.
Oh, okay.
Um, which they were a more expensive motor, but yeah, it was. It was like 30 something. I think it was from memory.
Yeah,
It was pretty expensive, but that was one price that they got priced. That wasn't us. Like that was before I was working where I am now.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, engines are expensive. They're like a quarter of the car's value.
Yeah, well, I mean, you kind of
Yeah,
need one to make the engine go.
that's why like
It's like,
petrol's. That's why petrol's better because petrol engines are usually a lot cheaper than a diesel motor. Diesel
okay.
parts are now way more expensive.
No, but actually,
Yeah,
that's really fun to hear because there's less part. Well, I don't know if there are more or less parts because I know there aren't spark plugs in a diesel
yeah.
engine. So I
It's
mean,
it's because the reason why this is usually common rail things. The reason why common rail diesels are so expensive is because the material used needs to be at a much higher quality to deal with the pressures that it's under.
yeah,
So
yeah, that's fair.
common rail diesels require high compression and high fuel pressures. So
Yeah.
that's why they fail because like an old Land Cruiser 1HZ or 1HD or whatever motor. It's in an 80 series Land Cruiser. They're not a common rail system, they were direct injected. So instead of going through like basically the whole point of the common rail is it goes through one tube and
Yeah.
then it
Right.
distributes out across the injectors throughout the common rail.
Yeah.
They all come from a common place. That's why they so original.
And it looks like a rail.
Yeah, so where direct injected, it sort of diverts out into separate lines and then goes directly into the injectors. And depending where the injectors are placed as well, because some are directly inside the cylinder head, and some injection systems are actually in the intake side. So they spray into the intake side on the other side of the valves.
Oh yeah.
They're really good systems, especially in diesels, because okay, they won't run as efficient as like a common rail. A common rail is efficient. It's very efficient, it's a good system, but it just doesn't last. That's all. Um, with direct injection, it's not as efficient because it doesn't obviously particleizes or atomizes the fuel as effectively because some of them will atomize the fuel on the intake side, so like not inside the cylinder itself. But the one
Right.
benefit of doing that though is it cleans the intake at the same time, so it doesn't gunk up as much. So it will allow fuel freely to go in there and air and all that to go in there freely. So it cleans it at the same time. Where common rail diesels, they have issues with like obviously EGR and your PCV valve mixing and clogging it up with carbon buildup. Well, on the old direct injection systems on some of them, because it cleans the intake, they don't get carboned up as much. Because they still have PCV valve. Some don't have an EGR, but they still gunk up. Like because obviously when your engine gets older or in the tooth, it still gets pretty dirty. So at least that way it cleans that. But they're just not efficient. Like they're not good at towing. Well, they can tow, but they're not good at it. They're not fast. They're not powerful. They're just torquey and they just keep going on forever.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, but honestly though, if you want to start out and you have money, become a tuner, and that's where this like headlines come out. especially out like here in the remote places, because a lot of people's hobbies out here is dirt circuit, which is like racing these
Oh, right.
modified cars on dirt circuits. Yeah, it's like it's a real hobby. Like if there was a car tuner out here with his own like hub dyno, you could make a
Yeah.
killing out here. Because everyone has a race car out here and everyone loves to fucking race for fun. And then also there's the added benefit as well, like in remote places there's no one to fix cars. So you've got mechanics to fix cars, but then you have no one to do more complicated processes like tuning. So we get a lot of people all the time, they get sick and tired of their DPF systems or their EGR valve clogging up their systems and stuff like that. And there's no one that can sort of like alter the car's running conditions out here to be able to make sure they can get home safely without breaking down all the time or making the car run more efficient within legal reasons.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, so we could make a killing out of here. But I was having a look, like how much it costs for like hub diners, because I used to know someone that had one. He had 4 actually, because he used to tune like Evos and stuff like that. So obviously they're full drive, so he needed to know what all four wheels were doing. But fuck, they're expensive. Like, come and look at this, like pricing.
Yeah, right.
Like, the 75 tripods, fucking 115,000.
Whoa.
No wonder why they charge $1,000 a tune.
Yeah, because
these machines are expensive. Jesus.
Yeah.
But they are so much better. Like, no, I shit you not. Like, because he had so the bloke I knew, he had obviously I knew him through my brother, the one that was a guest on the podcast. But
Yeah.
he had a like a roller one, like your traditional dyno that they go on the platform and then it spins the reels. But his race car was that powerful that it was too much for that.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it was way over the limit of it. So he ended up getting these because they can handle the power. Because I think his car was like, it was a drag car, so it was like over 2,000 horse or something like that. I don't know what the I can't remember what the kilowatts was, but I know it was over 2,000 horsepower to the wheels. So it was a
Far out.
it was a very, very powerful car. But yeah, fuck me, they're expensive. Couldn't get over that. But yeah, but like things like that. Like I wish I could take my car to a tuner and get like, because I want to eventually get an exhaust. Like I really want a Manta exhaust system. And I would love to get like a snorkel as well and all that sort of stuff, and just do up my car a little bit, my full drive. Not like crazy, but definitely do it up enough to make it sound nicer and like run more efficiently.
Right.
But the problem is if I do the exhaust and do the snorkel and do other bits and pieces, I'll need to probably get it tuned so it runs more effectively. But it's like, yeah, it's over $1,000 for a tune, so
Far out.
pretty expensive. There is these companies out that have this like plug and tune system. They are tested and whatnot, so then that way they're not going to blow up your car, but you have to know what you're doing, and honestly, you still can't beat an old traditional tuner. Someone who sits there on a dyno and actually tunes it properly, because okay, so say for example they test 1,000 cars with this tune, right?
Yeah.
That you can just plug and play essentially, and they're not cheap either because you got to pay. So if you do one tune, so say you want to do a towing tune or you just want to do an efficiency tune, you have to pay per tune as well. You get like credits,
Oh,
and they're worth a
jeez.
certain amount. Or tokens. They're worth a certain amount, and you have to pay. So, for example, when you buy it, you get three tunes with the item. Once you use those tunes up, and you want to use another one, you have to pay like $500-$600 for another token. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah, it's expensive in that sense, but it is handy for like someone remote who just needs something quick, smart, to get them going, and then they'll take it in to get it properly tuned later on or something like that. So you got them out now, but yeah, the problem is like even if you test like 1,000 cars and then you make okay, so 1,000 cars done. These are the results. And then you work out your averages, so then that way you get across as much across the broad tune as possible. So you know you're not going to damage anything. You're going to get the best sort of tune out of it. The thing I don't like about that is exactly as I said. It's just not going to be as efficient, and your car might not run that well as it could because it's got a few quirks and stuff that other cars didn't have. So it's a good sort of like, I think it's a band-aid thing, but yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, I don't think so. It'd be a great idea. You're better off like if you're gonna do performance stuff and you have like a petrol car, you're honestly better off just getting a Helltech ECU.
That's one of those ones that you plug into your car for diagnostics.
No,
Or
it
is
replaces the car's ECU.
oh, I see what
So
you mean.
Helltech brought out a new one. The last generation did it as well, where you can like, say for example, you got an old 1980s car with like no traction control and all that sort of stuff. This thing
Right.
is that smart that you can now put traction control on your car
Oh.
without having like the traction control modules that you do on modern cars. So it does it all through the motor. And the cool thing about this ECU, the new one, is it also monitors, because my boss just recently purchased it for his race car because he really wants to build his dirt circuit car and race in the next titles.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he got this it only came out last year, like November or October, something like that. And he was saying to me that this thing is amazing because it will basically read absolutely everything on the car. So any module you have, any sensor you've got, it'll read and monitor and check and check and check. And it will actually adjust the car to what it sees. So it will read the air temperature, read the airflow meter, and it will adjust everything on the fly as you're driving. So
All right.
this basically technically will get you as close to tuning on the fly, like an adaptive tuning setup on the fly, as you possibly can, which is amazing for a race car. Because each conditions is this is the problem with tuning. Is like, okay, you can set the car up for perfect scenario, but what happens if it's a little bit humid? What happens if it's a little bit hot? What happens if the air density goes down? All that sort of stuff does affect your car's driving. Where this thing will read all that on like live feed, and it will adjust everything as it's happening. So it will adjust the car's running and optimize the car's running to each scenario that is presented with, which I think's fucking dope.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
nuts. So it just
really
has like a bunch
cool.
of sensors to sort of determine
Well,
like what needs to change.
it plugs into the already existing sensors. So, because like
Yeah.
cars have all these
Oh, right. I see what you
cars.
mean. Yeah.
My fucking nose is so red. Look at that. I don't know why it's so red.
Just sunburn.
Yeah, I did. I forgot to bloody wear sunscreen. I was out at the beach yesterday, so.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, like cars already have sensors. Like, if you have a performance car, you're gonna want obviously EGT sensors, like exhaust gas sensors. You're gonna want boost sensors. You're gonna want airflow sensors, which usually you have to have anyway. You want oxygen sensors. You want turbo sensors. You want coolant sensors, intercooler sensors, like intercooler temperature as well. Because I've seen some people where they have intake sensors, so how cold the flow rate of the intake is, and then versus the intercooler sensors as well. I've seen that on some people that are like right into their performance cars because they want to know, is their intercooler not running as efficient? I've only seen a couple of people do this. Not many people do that, but these people like I said, the guy that with the 2,000 horsepower bloody car that needed hub dyno, needed by however much he spent on his hub dynos to get. He was that particular. He basically, if there was a sensor on the market that would help him learn and read his car, he would buy it and fit it.
All right.
Yeah, he was like that in depth on his cars. He wanted to squeeze as much power as possible, and he would do a rebuild after every run because obviously it was a drag car. I think he ran it on nitro oxide as well. Can't remember whether it was ethanol or whether it was the nitrous car. You know, like the drag cars, and they just use that. It's a special fuel. It's like
nitrous oxide.
Yeah, but it's like I can call it nitrous oxide, but I could be wrong. It's fucking forgot. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna have to look it up because otherwise I'm gonna look like an idiot.
Yeah, no reason.
Nitromethane.
Oh, nitromethane. Okay.
Nitromethane. Yeah, I don't know whether he ran nitromethane on it or not. I'm not too sure. Can't remember. He did have a radiator on it, so he might not. He might have just ran ethanol. I'm not too sure. Can't remember. It was a long time ago now. But
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to him in a long time either, so I don't know what he's doing these days. So yeah, you get people like that, and then you get other people that just they pick what they need and then they go with that. So yeah, it's just a lot of money that I certainly don't have the funds to do.
Yeah, no, most people wouldn't, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So it'll be fun because we're gonna try and get like a demo derby, like a work demo derby going.
Yeah.
We got all these cars that have been like dumped on us. Well, they're given to us, but yeah, we're gonna try and get them running and then just smash them into each other on an event during dirt circuit night. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I've never done demo derby, so I've never raced. I've never raced an event like that either, so that also be cool. I'd like to be able to give racing a go. Problem is,
yeah, why not?
Is I'm okay. I will be the first to admit that I'm not an amazing driver. I'm a overcautious driver,
Right.
Which obviously for racing means I'm not that good. So like driving dirt roads, like I can drive on dirt road fine, but if I don't know the road or I haven't been on too many times, I get a little bit nervous because I don't know what's coming around the corner. So I tend to not relax as much, and therefore like it shows in my driving capabilities. So like, don't get me wrong, like if my car slides out of control, like I'll be fine. I'll be able to recover that without any issues. It's more the confidence. Like for example, yesterday we went out to the beach and because it was a really hot day, I got to like 40. And the beach that we go to is like a drive-on beach. And the road there, it's about 30 minutes out, and the road there is dirt and it's really corrugated and washed out, and the other parts where they've graded it as well. And so like I get a little bit nervous because like I'm driving along and I'm doing like 90 or 100 depending where I'm at, because like in those roads you want to go fast, you don't want to go slow, because you go slow, the bumps and vibrations are way worse than if you just speed over them.
Yeah, true.
That's actually a safety thing too. Like, sounds silly to go faster means it's safer, but it actually is, to an extent. Obviously, you don't want to do 100 k's around a dirt bend because you end up fucking in the paddock.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and the road is a 100k road anyway. So you coming up, and then you come up to a rush out, and I try and move out of the way, and then I bang into it, and the car's sliding around a little bit, and I'm like, yeah. But the thing is, I'm on edge the whole time because I'm just not comfortable driving on a road I don't know. And give me a few attempts, I'll get more comfortable, and then I'll be more relaxed. Like the locals, like we got taken out there by one of the locals, a friend of ours, and she just fucking flies along there like there's nothing, and she's like on one hand, like like all that. Like I would like to get to that comfortability eventually, but yeah. Same with full driving as well. Like full driving, if I'm on a track I don't know, over Christmas I had family out here, show them around and whatnot, and we took like this full drive track, and it's not a very long track, but it's not very well used, so not many people go on it, and it's very overgrown. I did have navigation, so someone was guiding me, guiding me through it and whatnot. So I knew what was coming up in terms of what it was. I did get stuck at one point, not stuck, like I didn't get bogged, but I got stuck because I was in high range for most of it until I got to some really soft sand stuff. And then it was like a hill, and it kind of like went up like that, and then it instantly turned down like that and went down and around and kept going. It was really soft stuff. And when I got to that stage, I like went up and I just didn't get enough momentum, and I was in high 4, which probably shouldn't have been in to begin with, but I thought I'll be fine because it's not that hard. So I got a little bit stuck, and I reversed back, and then I immediately put it in low range. And then I tried again and got stuck again. So then I reversed and gave myself more room back, because I wasn't obviously. I didn't, like, when I went up, I didn't have enough momentum, and that's the trick with sand. Is you want momentum. You want momentum and a consistent speed. So you pick a speed and you stick to it, and you pick a gear and you stick in it. Generally, second or third are your two gears that you stick in. Second's probably your best. Don't ever go on first, because you dig a hole.
Yeah,
Second's probably
especially
better
at
for like
that power
situation
level.
like that. Yeah, because you want to stick at a constant speed. You want momentum. That's the key. So I reversed all the way back, and my dad was like, "No, you'll be able to do it." I'm like, "Nah, I'm gonna let my tires down." I was gonna use my max tracks, but he's like, "No, you don't need to." So I was like, "Oh, okay, fair enough." So I decided not to. I let my tires down because my tires are Fulcrum Wild Peaks All Terrain 3s.
Yeah,
Fucking amazing tires. Amazing tires. Everyone like uses around here like Bridgestones and stuff like that. But you know what? The Wild Peaks are good. The reason why they're good is that 38 pound, which is what I usually run it as highway. I don't usually do 40. The reason why is because when I'm on a highway, it heats up and it'll go up to 40 anyway.
all right.
So I just leave it at 38. And the good thing about 38 on those tires is because it's a light truck tire, it's got a really strong sidewall. And they kind of bow out at 38 pound. So they give you a really good footprint in sand. So you can do a lot of stuff in sand without having to let your tires down with it, which is what I really like about them. So like I said, I got through most of this track without letting, like, at 38 pound, and it was really soft stuff, and I was able to get through most of it in high 4. Anyway, so that attempt, so third attempt went around, but I was like really nervous because I'm by myself. Like, I don't have a winch or anything like that. I do have recovery gear, so I've got max tracks and I've got snap straps and I've got other sorts of stuff. I don't have like a really good jack to get me out of situations. I have a scissor jack, that's all I've got. I don't have a bottle jack or anything like that, or a trolley jack, or I should invest in one. I don't have any of that sort of stuff. So like if I get stuck, I need someone to get help. But it's because it's one way, it's really hard to get recovered out of that situation. I can't go backwards. So I go backwards, I get stuck. And I can't turn around. So it was just one of those like situations where I was kind of like sort of like, fuck, if I get stuck here, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to get my car out. Like, I'll get it out, but it'll be a pain in the ass. So yeah, like I'm not gonna pretend that I'm like this fucking seasoned person. I mean, I know the theory. I know what needs to be done, but it's like when I'm in it, I'm just like fuck. And then I was with my family as well, so I was like fuck. So I got out there, and then we continued on, and we ended up getting to the area that I know a lot about. So which is a real rocky slate sort of area. So that's nice. So there was no dramas. But when I was talking to my boss about it, he told me that with the D40, because obviously, like he before he bought the place, it used to be a dealership for Nissan and Holden.
Right.
And he told me that with D40s and Colorados and basically anything that's got a electronic center locking system, like the full drive systems all electronic, whenever, particularly D40s and Colorados, like whenever you get to sand, it doesn't matter if it's like really soft or really hard. It doesn't matter. Always put it in full low. And I was really confused by what he's meant by that because, like I said, I did this whole thing in full high and it wasn't a drama. And then I was able to go to full low without any dramas when I did get in a position where I needed to. And he's like, no. Your situation, yeah, it worked fine because you were able to move. I'm like, okay. And he says, where people get stuck and they end up blowing their clutch out or doing something, breaking something, is because they're in full high. And then because they can't move, the internals bind up and it won't let you go
Right.
into full low. So you'll get stuck. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And he's like, yeah, no, you'll get stuck. Happens all the time to people. They go in the sand, they go in full high, they're like, I don't need to go full low. And then they get stuck to the point that they can't reverse out, they can't go forward, they're just stuck. And the internal mechanisms will bind up and have a lot of tension on them. So when you go to full low, it won't engage full low. It won't move things because it's under tension, so it won't move. And because you can't physically go back and forth to unbind it, you're stuck and then you have to get pulled out. So
Yeah, right.
yeah, so I was like, oh shit, well, I'm lucky I was able to move out. But the thing is, I've been in like mud and sand and all that stuff before. Like I said, I'm not seasoned or anything like that, veteran on it, but I do know that once you start feeling the car losing momentum and against bulk, just stop. Because you don't want to dig a hole. You want to be able to easily get back out, and that's what I did that time. Soon as the car went up, I stopped.
Oh.
Because I knew my car's not a V8. It's not gonna be able to just go and then you just fucking put it down and just go and then get out that way. Like, I'm not gonna do that. It's a diesel 1.5 liter fucking D40 Navara. It's not gonna do that. So once it gets stuck, I know that I'm not gonna get the momentum to go further anyway. So, and I don't have a diff lock or anything like that that would allow me to get out, most likely, because it would keep moving and crawling out. So I just reversed back, and because I did that, there wasn't a hole. There was just a real track, and then you could see where the tires dug in, and it was the front that was getting caught. And so yeah, so then I did that. I also did go up on the thing and just sort of smooth it out a little bit, so then that way I don't have to climb a ridge. And then yeah, I just went straight up and over. Like, D40s they're not amazing four-wheel drivers. They are really low, even with a 2-inch lift kit.
Yeah.
They're still low. So they do get caught up quite easily on things. You can't go full driving on a stock suspension on them. I've tried. You can't. You get caught in everything.
It's not powerful enough.
No, you just get caught in everything. You belly out. You hit
okay.
fucking everything. Yeah, you damage your car. Don't even bother. Seriously, don't bother. Unless you get bigger tires. And no, just get a suspension lift and bigger tires. Don't even bother. Just not worth it. You end up breaking something. Because we went to Love Day and there was very little I could actually do. I was getting caught up on everything. And then now with the 2-inch lift, and then I finally actually was able to test it. Like, that track that I went on, I wouldn't be able to do on a stock Navara, and it wasn't that bad. There wasn't like big ruts or anything like that, but yeah. But it was pretty crazy, like, because I'm on the sand and my whole car was fucking like moving around everywhere and all that sort of stuff. So it was fun. It was stressful for me, but it was fun. I did have fun. I was just stressed.
Yeah.
So yeah, thought I'd share that story.
Nah, fair enough.
Yeah, have to take you out there when you come visit.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to go drive around, and I'll just show you how good I am at doing wheelies. in four-wheel drives. You know how like those monster trucks,
Yeah.
you know how those monster trucks do like those fucking breakdance moves?
Yeah.
I can do that with a lawnmower.
Well, like a ride-on one.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Who,
zipping around.
whose ride-on lawnmower do you have?
Steal my neighbors.
That's funny. Have you like when you were young, did you
Yeah.
ever do anything silly like racing or anything like that?
Not silly. You mean like street racing?
Street racing, burnouts, sort of thing.
No. Um, I had an overprotective mother and a father I couldn't get permission to do fucking anything. So, yeah, autonomy was very foreign to me growing up. So,
Yeah.
I didn't really have much of an opportunity to do anything silly. In fact, like my mum and my sisters, I was like, I'm just gonna go walk down the street to my friend's house. It was at night. They're just like, no, you can't do that. I was like, what are you talking about? It's just down the street. I've been there now hundreds of times. They're like, no, you can't do that. It's nighttime. I just I ended up convincing them that everything will be okay. I'm not going to disappear.
Yeah.
But it took some convincing to allow them to walk me down the street at night. That was probably like the silliest thing I ever did as a young person.
So I didn't really do that much because, put it this way, my older brothers did all the silly stuff for me without me actually doing it.
Oh.
So I was always like a bit of a nervous, like, dad would do a donut and I was like, stop it, dad. Like I was a little bitch, to be honest, when I was young.
Yeah, so was I.
When I started exploring fun stuff,
Yeah.
that was when I was older. That was when I was over 18. When I started learning how to have fun. Before that, I didn't really do that much. I was pretty tamed. But when I was 18, I was like,
Yeah.
well, actually, why am I scared of all this stuff? Like, my brothers did some crazy shit and they're alive. Like, why can't I just. And in all honesty, okay, so cops will fucking bag you and bag kids for doing stupid shit. But I'm going to be blatantly honest. I honestly do believe that I think we should let kids do stupid shit in designated areas that are open and they can't hurt themselves. And the reason why is I feel that them experimenting and losing control of their vehicle in a safe environment and then learning how to recover that vehicle will make them better drivers in the long run. Because if something goes wrong
it's
on the road, like someone hits them and they spin out, they will know what to do to recover because they've done it before in a safe environment.
It's not that I disagree with you. It's just
that's the
that
only time.
I doubt that I doubt they're gonna actually use that area for that reason. Because I mean, how
Yeah.
many skaters do you see at a skate park as opposed to skating on the street?
Oh, yeah, and then they'll charge exorbitant prices that no one can afford, and then all that sort of stuff, just like they do with normal racetracks. But
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing too.
Right, you're 100% right on that. But I just do think that even if we implemented something like what they do in Germany, like defensive driving courses as part of a requirement to get your license, yes, I know it's going to be more money.
Yeah,
But honestly, there's too many P-platers on the road that don't know how to drive, and then they become adults that are just completely useless. And I see it all the time where they lose control of their vehicle. Like the other day, I was watching a video where someone lost control of their vehicle, went through someone's house. Like it was
Jesus.
easy. It was easy as they weren't going fast. They were only doing 60, and somehow they ended up in someone's
Oh
house.
wow.
Like if that dumb fuck actually knew how to drive, that would have been avoided. And that's all I think that we need to do is we need to just have. So I learned to defensive drive by early hours in the morning. I'm on a roundabout, my Commodore spins out, and I recovered it flukily. But then I remembered how to do it, and then it happened again. It happened again. I'll be fine. But other people like they don't do that, so they get in that situation. But the problem is they're in like times of the day, like peak hour traffic, where they have no clue and then they end up taking out a few other people with them.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Especially in the wet. Elderly people, you can't fix them.
You can't fix them,
You can't
Jesus.
fix
All right.
them. No, you can't. Like, they're just stuck in their ways. They think that they can drive quite well, but to be honest, they're that slow at responding. Really shouldn't be driving if they have no control of the car. So, but unfortunately, we're too weak in taking their licenses off them. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. I also yesterday as well, when we were playing Helldivers no, we weren't playing Helldivers at that stage, when I just like disappeared from the chat. So I was playing around with overclocking my
Oh, yeah,
computer.
the ant situation.
There's the ant situation as well. I'm having issues with ants. I'm gonna spray more of that fucking stuff that they don't like to cross around the house. Anyway, so I was playing around with overclocking my computer. I already have like a basic sort of undervolt system and not too much really. But I wanted to play around with like how I can increase my clock speeds, my CPU and my GPU and all that sort of stuff. So I discovered yesterday that my CPU is not great at overclocking. I did not win the silicon lottery. It blue screened pretty much the most basic clocks that weren't really doing much, and it was blue screening. And I'm like, I'm unlucky on this one. It is an X3D, and X3Ds, to be honest, aren't really good at overclocking anyway. But I just want to play around with it, see what I can get out of it. And to be honest, couldn't get too
how many
much.
cores? Don't you have like 16 cores or something like that?
No, that's Ray's. Ray's is 16 core. Yeah.
Which one's yours? How many cores do you have?
Mine's 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's still enough to do a lot.
Oh yeah, just its factory settings is pretty powerful.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do is just see if I can get it a little bit more performance out of it. I mean, I spent all this money on a motherboard that allows me to overclock, and I spent all this money on a CPU that, you know, is unlocked, and a GPU that I can fuck with. Because I can get mine up to, my GPU can get up to 400 watts. Which is stupid. I would never really want it to do that, but you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very unstable, and I'm just like, no, I'll just keep it the standard. Undervolt both of them, and just leave it as really.
Yeah.
Yeah, because undervolting is better than keeping them at the stock standard, because I think they run too much voltage through them. I believe they do anyway.
Yeah, if you overclock your CPU, you tend to decrease the lifespan of your CPU, which is like, well, how many years are you going to get out of it at that point?
It's because of the heat.
Yeah.
Because they get too hot. Like, when I undervolt, like I said to you the other day, like when I undervolt my CPU and GPU, like the temperatures, like even right now, it's a 30-something degree day. I don't know what the temperature is. Hang on. This is just in this room. So it's not overly hot in here, but it's 27 degrees at the moment. But
right.
It will get up to 36 or something like that. But at the moment, my CPU's at 55C and my GPU's at 44C. It's not under load. Like, CPU's at 12% and GPU's at 1%. Fan speed's pretty. I don't care about the loudness of my computer, so I really don't give a shit if it's really loud or not, because I always have my headphones on, so I don't hear it.
Right.
So my fan speed is basically set at a constant. It's blowing a gale. So not extreme, like it's not at the highest settings of these fans, but it's at like a it's at a setting that I'm happy for it to just sit there and just do its thing. It will ramp up obviously as it gets hotter, but my base fan speed's at a nice consistent. I like a lot of airflow. I want airflow to move through it. I like my components to stay cold because it's not just my CPU or GPU. It's also my RAM. It's also my VRAMs. It's my SSDs. It's everything. I want to be cold. So having it at a consistent fan speed keeps it cold. Makes me happy. I don't care about noise. I'm in a noisy environment. I have birds literally singing in my ear and ants crawling on my window. You little fuckers. Anyway, if anyone has a really good idea on how to absolutely eradicate ants, fucking hit me up because I hate little pricks. What they do is they come into my room because I used to do this in the bathroom, but then we managed to stop them from doing it. But now they're coming to my room and they're dumping their fucking dead. I have an ant graveyard. Last night, my window channel was just fucking. I thought it was dust, and like, cause I clean my room weekly, and like, I saw like a couple of ants around, like on the windowsill over there, and I was just like, fucking little pricks, and I'm like squishing them and killing them, and then I look at my windowsill, and I'm like, what's all this black shit? And then I move it, and I pick it up, and it's a fucking like dead ants. Like, I would have been easily like 5 centimeters thick of fucking dead ants in the window channel, and it went all the way along. And I'm just like, you little fuckers, you're not dumping your dead in here. It's like, oh, God.
I could imagine that the ants just come in with one of their dead friends, drop in, and they're here, cop that, you bastard.
Yeah, they keep doing it all the time. They drop their dead in here and then they run away. Which I'd much rather them do that than say getting into Nagini's tank or anything like that. So they haven't gotten in her tank, but I'm pretty anal about keeping her tank clean. So
yeah,
yeah, fucking ants, man, they're so annoying. They're important, but they're annoying.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, we'll probably keep the podcasts going on Sundays unless obviously something's going on. But yeah,
like life.
Like live. When you're here, we should do a live podcast, and then I'll have you off screen.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to bring. Actually, I don't know if I can bring any stuff. Actually, you know what? I could probably bring because I've got an audio mixer which is plug and play, so that should work.
Yeah, that should.
So we
work.
should be able to just plug that in, and then I'll bring what do I bring in terms of units?
Yeah. Well, even if that doesn't work, I can always give you this. Hopefully by then I'll have the Audis Maxwells because the Audis Maxwell mic's actually really good. You could just you could just wear a headset and Bluetooth it to the computer and then listen.
Yeah, right.
Because I can have dual outputs happening. I think I can anyway. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Well, anyway, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah. We'll figure it out when we get there. Well, anyway, we're gonna raid into this person who's playing Valheim. Valheim's like a Arxvale evolved. They seem interesting. They're on their phones staring at it at the moment. Anyway, we'll catch you next time. Hope you have a good night and day, depending around the world, and we'll catch you next Sunday.
See ya.
Bye. Oh, we gotta do this one. Hang on. Hang on a minute. This always happens every time. Just something doesn't work as well. Did that work? Yeah, I did. All right. Catch you, everybody. See ya.
See ya.
So late.
That's why I came late, you bastards.
I can't join you, Quincy. I don't know why.
I'm trying to figure out why my Halo keeps going to my other TV.
Hello.
Like I don't have one right here.
Thank you for the raid.
Oh, that's why. I'm stupid.
Hope you had a great stream.
There we go. Now you can't. can't join me because I gotta make sure the black